Hey guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so as the title says, this is something that I think I'm going to certainly start making these for family and friends now. I think it's going to be perfect. I'm so excited. I will tell you the inspiration for this was from MayMay. MayMay does it. That's really where I got the inspiration. Just kind of go simple. The rest is all me. but she was absolutely inspirational. So this is basically a year in the life album, and it's pretty simple. Pretty super simple. So let me show you what's inside, or I'll show you what's outside. I went with something just pretty neutral for the outside. There's a double mat. I really looked at putting a triple, but I couldn't find a matching blue, and everything else just didn't work. So I just did a black and then white, and then the album itself is black. And that actually worked super. I left this sort of nameplate empty. I thought this would be perfect for someone to put a person's name or the year. Excuse me. Okay, as I promised, super simple. So we open it up, and we have the beginning of November. There's a Happy New Year's Eve. I meant to do this. I'll just use this. I'm just going to use this big tag. So each area has a tuck. So you could tuck into here. This one I left empty. You can put a picture straight on there, but my concept for this was, it's just super simple. And I'm not doing huge amounts of embellishment. One little thing, no extravagance. This is something people can look at and say, hey, yeah, I can stick pictures in there. Okay, so I am having a problem with this staying attached to the glitter, and I'm going to have to probably re-glue this piece. Just be careful with the glitter paper, because, man, it is a pain. Okay, so I also made these just cute little tags in here. Now, there's a pocket for each section, and there are 6 pages. So we have November, and then February, and again this tucks. March, get that in there. I really liked that one. April. This, by the way, is actually for like a window cling type thing, or a window sticker. But every once in a while I'll use these. They're a really nice size. They're bigger than what you normally get. And so I do like those occasionally. All right, so April, May. All of these papers were from I'll show you the paper pack in a minute if I can find it. A paper pack from Hobby Lobby. So again, I can tuck right there. So May, June. Some of these stickers were from Dollar Tree. I think this one was in a Dollar Tree pack. And they had... so this one had an extra piece of like the foam to make it pop. And for a lot of these, I just took that extra piece off the bottom. I just did not want that much extra in the album. So celebrate. Pretty sure this piece, this sticker, wooden sticker, came from Joann's. That's so sad. Oops, and I didn't show you. Okay, so in this one, I just matched the card with with this one. I may go back through and make a second one for each one so that I'll put them back to back. Okay, so we have, let's see, that was February, March, April, May. Here's the May journaling or extra picture, but there's the June, July. I really liked the little strawberry one. July. Put that back in there. August. I just love that one. September. Let's see, I showed you that one. For September, I actually did this one. So I probably need to go back through and at least do another one, because this is a big pocket. I could put them back to back or side by side. You know, we put the other one so that it comes through like this. This one would then go, you know, I'd move that one down, and then this one would go here so that when you open them, it almost looks like a file. I kind of like that. Okay. So September, we go back to school. October, personally, I love Halloween, but not everyone does. So I left it a little bit more just fall-like. And again, what I did with these stickers is I used the baby powder way to neutralize some of the sticky. All right, so we have November. And then this one got that. And then this one actually should be this way. So we got November, December, and you get the secondary in December. I just think I really like the way this one came out. I'm really happy with the results. And I really feel like this is something that's, if you've ever done a craft show and you do the fancy albums, which I have, and I have those, but you have to charge a really reasonable amount for the fancy albums that have lots of tucks and pockets and folds and flips and things and waterfalls. I mean, the fancier you get, the more work you put into it, the more you need to charge for it. And people who don't do that don't get that. They don't understand that. So what I wanted to do this year was put together a nice variety of, I'm just going to call it a brag book section, from, you know, extra small all the way up to, this might be a medium, and then large, and then I'll come up with a name for the other ones, you know, extravagant, or so that really, I think, resonates with people. I think that this makes more sense to them, and if they see the different prices leading up to the other ones, they understand better why those fancy ones have to be so much more. You know, I'm going to go with that and hope, and we'll see what happens. This one is holding really well, and I know, I mean, I used the same, from the same company papers, so I'll just have to do a little bit of work on the other one. And then we close it. I love this, and I worried that I would have a hard time finding something that made sense to me, or that might make sense to other people, but I really know that, no, I don't know, but I'm really hoping that everyone sees kind of the idea that this was a little bit more generic on the outside and just pretty, so you could get to all of the inside gorgeousness. I just think that's going to be so cute. Run through it one more time. Okay, so this is one version. I'm going to be making some other versions, and I'll show you the finished projects. I'm going to do one here, with you guys. And then I'll be doing a few others. So this is a year. I'm going to be doing a school one and with the school one, it's going to be K and then 1 through 12 on the pages, because there are 6 pages, so you have 12 options. And then this back page is going to be graduation. So that's one of the ones I wanted to do. But today, the other way you can do it is to do the month by month with baby photos, which, when we have kids. So I picked this adorable Echo Park paper. This is from my stash. I do not believe they do this anymore. It's 2022. I got this. I did not buy it at Echo Park. This was probably Tuesday morning when they were still around. So it's super cute. So I'm going to be using this one for my album. So let's get started. Okay, so for anyone who would like the dimensions, I'm going to give them to you here. You can do a quick, on your phone, you can just do a screenshot. So the book is going to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 with a 1 3/4 inch spine. So that's how I'm going to cut my chipboard. Once you add the paper, it ends up being just a little bit wider. The spine ends up being actually 2 inches. So the chipboard is 1 3/4, but with what you leave on the sides, it ends up being 2 inches. We're going to have 3 gusset pieces, 1 1/4 by 4, 1 3/4 by 4, and 2 1/4 by 4. You're going to score each of the long sides along the 4-inch side, and I'm going to go through all this at a 1/2 inch. Your pages, you'll need 6, are going to be 4 by 12. So you can get 3 pages out of one 12 by 12. Once you cut those, I don't like to score them. I like to fold them. That's just my weird little preference. So you end up with 4 by 6. And then I'll show you the way that we attach them and glue them so that we can have the pockets from them. And then internally, so that's going to leave us a space. As long as we don't glue it together, we'll have the top. And then I matted each piece or each section. So you can see there's a little green mat. I'm giving myself approximately 1/8 of an inch. You can do more if you so choose, but this is with 1/8 of an inch. So my mats are 3 7/8 by 5. Yeah, that's going to drive me crazy. Make sure I have my little inch marks there. This one's here, but it's I know, it's funny. Okay, so the mat will be 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. And then the printed piece that goes on top is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so those are pretty much all of your dimensions. Again, this is actually a really simple book to put together. So I'm going to put that guy aside, and the next thing I'm going to do is show you the paper I'm going to use. So I told you that, you can do the year in the school, and I will be doing that, but you can also do a baby's first 12 months. And then I decided I would do the baby's first 12 months. So I'm really loving this. I will probably keep this piece and cut it out so that I can use this on the front of the booklet. It's pretty big, but we'll see. I just have to cover up the by Lori Whitlock. They started to do that, and then I think they stopped doing that because they Echo Park's pretty smart and figured out that people really wanted to be able to use this. So in putting the signature of the creator of the paper pad of the artist, that didn't work really well for us. So All right, let's see what we've got. This is such cute paper. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me get this. Put that aside for right now and put this over. Oh, I forgot that. All right. I was never a fan of this. So if you're not familiar, Echo Park used to, instead of making this a separate sheet, excuse me, instead of making this a separate sheet, they printed one of the papers on the back. It's really cute though. So I love this. I think that this is going to be, you could do a year for your baby in baby paper. Oh, it would be so cute to use. I can't think of the brand. I'll have to think of the brand. Anyway, there's a brand I'm thinking about that would do a great job with this, but so is this. So love the Sweet Baby Girl. Let me put this one over here. All right, page 1, page 2. It's a girl. It's really gorgeous paper. One sheet should give you, if you wanted to do several of them or to use the back and front, one 3 by 3/4 inch section is going to give you 2 sheets. So you can cut once and then use the front and the back independently. And this is just really pretty paper. Can I get 2 sheets of it? I did not expect that. Okay. It's going to be interesting. I just have to make sure I have 12 different designs. So I may have to knock into some other paper. This is really cute. Oh my goodness. Love that. I think what I'm just going to do is leave these like that. So far we have 4 little carriages. Very cute. Okay, 4, 5, 6. I didn't look at the front to see how much we're going to get. I definitely want to use this. No, I don't. Not for this one. These are big. If I use these, they'll take over the page. But I know what I'll do. I'm going to use these in my inserts. Okay, so I will use these. And this one gives you the full 12. So what's on the back? Oh, so cute. Since I'm only making one book with the girls, that'll work for me. All right, so how many different do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one gives me 8. Ugh. This is very cute. There's a lot of cute cut-aparts on here, and that's adorable. So definitely 9. Okay. Oh my. So this one's going to give me 9 sheets. So I'm going to have to pull from something else, which is fine. It's all very pink, and I think I have another Echo Park set. I have seen, or I think that through the years, there's some similarities in some of the Echo Parks, so it does make it easier to sort of mix and match. These are adorable. These are all stickers. I love that, you get these border ones. This is really cute. Miracle, Sugar and Spice, Eat, Sleep, Be Cute, and Repeat. So some of these are going to be great for the tuck space. I do like having a tuck space in each one. These are fabulous. Okay. Let me see. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put this aside for right now. Doodlebug, that was what I was thinking about. I think Doodlebug does such a cute papers for babies. So I'm going to look around in a few minutes and see what else I have that I can use. In the meantime, let's at least get the chipboard cut. So I order my chipboard. I usually order it from Amazon. I haven't had to order it in a while. It's been a while since I had to order any. So I have no idea what I paid for it or any of that good stuff. Okay, so I just need 2 pieces of 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I had to think about this for a minute. I'm going to have to cut more than one sheet, mostly just because that 6 1/4 is going to throw me off when I'm doing that. So I'm going to do 4 1/4. Let's see. I think I might be better off doing 6 1/4. It'll leave me the biggest piece left behind. Okay. 6 1/4. I'm just going to put that away with some of my pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my 4 1/4. I always put my guillotine down. I have this bizarre fear that I'm going to stick my hand under it accidentally and it'll come down for some reason, and that'll be that. Okay, piece 1. Piece 2. So front and back covers. And then I want to cut my spine, which needs to be that's going to be 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Had to look at it for a minute. And I'm also going to keep this because I could make a small notebook or something out of that. So that's 4 1/4, and then this is going to be 1 3/4. Gonna move that. I don't like doing it that way, but okay. 1 3/4. That's 4 1/4. I have a bag I keep all those in, all those extra pieces. So this, yep. So I've got my pieces. Cannot do without my guillotine. Okay, so for this part, I'm going to use one of my giant score tapes. This might not be score. This one might be a different one. But it seems to be working just as well. So let me do it this way. I did a different book that I'm going to go back. And I'm using my extra long paper, and I accidentally put it down on the wrong, there we go, section. I put it this way instead of that way, and it made me have to go and do I had to go back over it. And let's see, 1 minute. All right, I can't find my finger blade, but this works pretty well. That piece off there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and burnish this. Then I'm going to add sorry. There we go. That should be about the right size. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to add in this little bit to get this part. And if I need to, I can always add just like a little sliver of glue. I probably don't need to. There's a lot of adhesive here, and it'll go around the back too, so front and back. Okay. I am just gonna do this. I wonder if I can get that in there. This is my favorite pair of scissors ever. And I don't actually need to do anything with that. So now I'm going to fold that down a little bit so I can get this in there. I made that one really tight. I can do it on this side. Ah! To reburnish that. Okay, hope you guys are having a great day. All right, there, and there. So now I have my adhesive on. It's really nice and smooth. And I am going to use one of my, let's see if that's going to be the right size. I think that'll be fine. Will it be too bright? Maybe. I know I'm talking to myself. Y'all are like, what are you talking about this time? But if you saw some of my hauls, I hauled this big pastel. And what I think I'm going to do is use that pink for my papers. I think that's going to be cute. I'm going to use this pink as the cover for the book. I'm going to use this pink for the pages. So let me go ahead and get into this thing. And I hope I can't get that back in there. All right. But I didn't do any damage to the paper. Summer is already going by way too fast. So this weekend is the 4th of, oh good. This weekend is 4th of July weekend. And on July 3rd will be Big Brits and my 15th wedding anniversary. So we're going to take a little trip to the mountains, which sounds super fun. and cool. It sounds cooler than being down here right now. I think it might be a little bit more pleasant in that respect. All right, let me make sure this is. Turn this guy around. It's always hard getting these completely straight, and it actually doesn't matter. You don't need to get it completely straight. It does help to do sometimes. Use my little tool here. That gives me my 1/4 inch. Trying to get this thing off. Okay. And I'll move it over here. Get my last piece. I'm going to put these aside for right now. Every once in a while I use them in between layers of glue or adhesive, especially if I have to lay something down and I want to give it time to cure, and I want something in between. Does that feel crooked? Looks crooked. There. Good news is I was able to move that around a little bit. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Well, approximately 1 inch. I'm not really going to sweat it. I'm just... It can be a wee bit bigger. I doubt that I'll use this for much more than maybe doing some cards on, so. I could certainly get that in a lot more, but it's all good. Okay, so put that piece aside. I may deal with that later, and now comes the fun part. I say that because here's where you have to be careful not to crack your paper. So if you're unfamiliar with it, I'm sure you guys all know, but paper can, the fibers can break and crack, and that just makes a mess. So I'm just going to go kind of slow. I was trying to go speedy the other day, and I absolutely cracked some paper. I was so mad at myself. Okay. I'm loving this. Now, sometimes people do this. I just find it doesn't work for me as well. You can do this, really push it up against there. Let me try it. I haven't had huge success doing it this way. I've had more success doing the way I do it, but I am happy to try something new if it works. Or even just to see if it's going to work. That's the smallest side. So this side down. So far, so good. This paper shouldn't crack anyway. The one that cracked on me was a heavier weight, so to cover the books, I usually only use 65 pound. Heavier than that, and it's gonna crack. This is so big. Might be out of. And then I often go back and just kind of keep smoothing it over so the paper adheres to the board as opposed to, you know, the cracking. The cracking. Okay, let me see. I have a little, what did I do with that? It's right here. So this is, I just need to switch out. This is a little cutter from Dollar Tree. I don't like it. I don't really think it's safe because this will consistently just pop down on me. And when you're in the middle of something, you do not need it to be changing in the middle. So, I mean, I'm really just using my corner tool here and see, I don't even know how it closed. It just did. And that is just, that can be kind of dangerous. So I will be switching out. I just haven't yet. I'll get a nicer one out here. That one and this one. Busy using my tools. Oh, come on. There you go. Thanks, closed. Okay. So I'm just going to put those two down. Yeah. I like to do my long sides and then my my ends. And I'm just gonna do this. What I like to do is try to get those to bend in like that. Okay. Almost like an envelope. Okay, so for this one, I am going to use glue. And if you have noticed that I have not done anything about bending the spine yet, I have not. I'm going to do that after. It's like a long signature. Now, I am sticking a tiny bit of glue into that corner, so I'm hoping that it folds down properly for me. Okay. There we go. I destroyed my fingernails this week. I have no idea how I did that. They were looking okay, and then they're not. All right, so let me do this. My. cute. Just bending it down, pushing that glue in a little bit in those corners so that when, there you go, when I do these two, okay. So it's funny, this part of the house does not, the air conditioning does not reach as well. It's a very old house. So I supplement with a fan, but it can get warm. It's a little warm right now. Okay. Cute. And I like to think that by putting that line of glue right there, it helps keep everything from breaking, the paper from breaking. I have, I can't prove that, but you know what? I'm just gonna go with that. Okay. Let me cap my glue. Ow, I just stuck that in my finger. Now, all right, now I'm going to do this. By the way, guys, I do this super lightly. I am applying very little pressure because what I find, your paper is kind of floating on top of that one. What I don't want to do is poke a hole in it. Now, bring this up a little bit slowly. Gotta be careful. All right, there's one side. I poked down a little bit, but I don't think I poked through. Just gonna ease its way. It already looks so cute. All right. So the way I'm going to be putting the spine together is one inside another. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole inside of this. So I did actually poke through right there, but speaking there, but I'm going to, this will be high enough that it should hide that. That is the wrong side to use. There we go. Because I'm going to make this super close. And this part is a little bit harder to cut because I don't have a big enough cutter for this part. There we go. Hold still. I'm talking to the paper. It's moving. I don't know why it thinks it can move. That's just, you know, so wrong. It should just not move. All right, that's going to be pretty close. Ish. So I'm going to mark a little bit right there. Did I get it right? Yeah, that should be about right. And then over on this side, okay. So I've just given myself a couple little marks so I can try. So funny to get this cut properly. Top part's gonna be fine. Yeah. It's this part that's no fun. Yeah. I put it on the wrong side. It's okay. I'm gonna move this for 1 second. Sorry. It's jumping back out. Let me grab this. This is why I keep some of my quilting rulers around, because they are nice and long, and I love how well they line up. Come on. You're gonna treat me like that after I was just complimenting you? And yes, once again, I'm talking to the ruler. I'm trying to get it right on where it needs to be. Oh, one. Okay, so got that measured. Sorry, that was a little tedious, and I thought you all may not want to sit with me through that part of it. So I am using glue for this one. It's long and it's a pain, but I'll try to move fast here. I'm going to be sloppy. Honestly, there's no reason not to be sloppy. Speed is of the essence. Okay. And make it that. Out there. To cut this really long piece, I didn't want to have to move two pieces together, but it's too long to cut. So what I did do is, once I got it to the length that I needed it, I did fold it in half to do this side, because this piece is going to be covered yet again with something else. So it begins to make sense. Now I'm at the stage, do this a little bit. That really needs to. Being fast enough on this glue is sometimes not as easy as it looks. Okay. Let me make sure I got the middle part really well adhered. Okay. There we go. Okay. So here's what I'm actually going to do. I am going to let it cure overnight. And I'm going to put some pressure on this, and I will see you guys in the morning. So I'm back. This has been sitting overnight. It's doing much better, much more solid. I let a little weight sit on it. Let that glue kind of cure. You really don't have to do that. I mean, honestly, I don't know that it made a huge difference. What I should have done, and I'll just tell you what I realized after the fact. One, I could have used just the tape and it would have adhered pretty quickly, but I like the glue. And I could have just glued down one side at a time, like one section at a time, just to make sure that the glue doesn't dry too quickly in any one section. So it's with something this big, just something this big. So I moved that out of the way. So I was in here probably earlier than I should have been. And I was looking at that and then forgot to start. I jumped in and I forgot to start filming. So let me show you. I didn't do much. I simply cut my little gussets here. So this one is 2 1/4 by 4. This one is 1 3/4 by 4. And then this one is 1 1/4 by 4. I'm going to be leaving a 1/4 inch in between everything. Would I prefer a 1/2 inch? Yeah, generally I would. But what I found with this is, I'll show you how big the spine would have to be. If I was doing a 1/2 inch, that would be the spine. It's like 4 inches, and that's just huge. Nope, it's 3 1/4 inches is what that ends up being. It's just huge. So I didn't want a spine that big, and I had already put this piece together, so I'll come back and I'll put that on a different project. But for this project, I just didn't want it that big. So I changed this to 1/4 inch in between. And so when I do these, I do like to turn it. It's just my process. So right now you can see I have got 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. That's the part that's going to be glued down. And I'm just going to do that with all of these. Just kind of 1/2 inch. And the way I worked the measurements was, I knew that I would need to have 3/4 inch here, so that when I fold this, it'll fit in the middle. This 1/4 inch will fit in the middle, and I'll still have a 1/4 inch on either side. And that's the same thing for the last part, which ended up being the biggest. There we go, and there. Easy peasy. The hardest part I have with this one is making sure these are straight. So all I'm going to do is go in and fold and make sure that these are straight. Actually, make sure that this, oh yeah, let's go straight. Nice. This one. Okay. This one is so little. It's such a pain. Okay. So, to make my life a little bit easier, let's see, where is that? Where is it? Okay. Here's what I do. I don't want these to shift. As I'm starting to put them down, I want each piece to kind of hold where I put it so that I can adhere it properly. So I do something funky. I just put a tiny bit of that on the back. I'm going to do it like this just because to the side is just a little bit easier for me. I don't know why. Then I'm going to grab my lovely ruler and make sure I'm looking at inches. Here we go. I don't want to make marks on this. I could. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could conceivably go through and just mark exactly where you wanted things to be. But I find it difficult to get in there and erase even pencil marks. So I know that there's my 1/4 inch. So this piece has to go right in between at that 1/4 inch stage. And this right now is solid to the table. So I'm just going to make sure this never moves. Mm-hmm. It is a pain in the... It's slightly over. I'm just not going to worry about it. As long as it's pretty even, I can see that it's... How did that get there? Okay. No, it's not. It is slightly over. Let me shift it just a wee bit. As long as I'm even on those, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, you can see I've got glue spilling out a little bit, so I want to bring this up some. Oh, that actually came out pretty well. That centering thing drives me nuts. Okay, so I'm pulling this up. So I've got my wee bit of tape on there. I'm doing the same thing with this guy. Just put a little tape on. And the nice thing about that tape is it's gonna, on here, it's going to lift up. I can put this wherever I need it to be. All right, so this one's gonna go, I'm just gonna be looking at that as my 1/4 inch mark. And I really don't want to be spilling the glue over the sides like I'm doing. I'll have to make sure I get that. But what I really do want is to make sure this is well adhered. Okay. Right there. Let me pull it down just a wee bit. Perfect. Now I have definitely got glue spilling out the top and bottom, but as long as it's not coming out of the sides, I'm good. There we go. So when I put that on, that's my little trick. My little trick is using this to just hold it in place while I'm trying to get it adhered. I don't want it to shift while I'm putting those together. And, you guys are probably a lot easy. I'm sure it's easier for other people. It's just not easy for me to hold it still. Okay. So Next, I am going to be putting this on, and honestly for this one I'm just going to eyeball where I need it to be. So it's going to be pretty much, you know, centered. This one I feel like that's pretty okay. Put my top back on. Get this on there. I'm being so quiet. I'm never quiet. Come on. Okay. Golly. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my goodness. That's like practically perfect. I'll take it. And I'm going to bring these up. I bring them up right away, really just to make sure that I don't glue them down. And then I'll do this one. Yay. Okay. The hinge, you know, I have done hinges in a couple of different ways. Just whatever I'm thinking about at the time. I thought this would be an easier hinge to do with this, and it has proven to be a pretty quick and easy hinge. I may try my next one with the other one where you kind of fold it. You're folding one piece into itself, but that has a lot of extra steps. So this one's honestly a little bit quicker and easier. What fell? Something by my feet fell over. Let me move this around for a second. All right. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and the next thing I need to do is I'm going to need to start cutting down my sheets. So if you recall, I'm going to be cutting these into 4 by 12. So I go back to a piece of that. So I'm going to go back to this. So we did the gussets and scored at the 1/2 inch on each long side. So my pages are 4 by 12, and then I'll fold those in half. I need 6 pages. And the reason I did 6 is really I wanted to make sure I had 12 so I could show an entire year for whatever it was going to be. So I'm going to grab, I thought I had already pulled one out, but so I want to use the exact same color. So I'm using one of these huge 12 by 24 sheets. And in order to do that, I need this guy. So let me pull that back a little bit. All right, so each one of these is going to be 4. It's already set to 4. And by 12. So hopefully, so there is 1. I'm going to move this up. 2. I think the closer I have this, that I'm holding that to the bottom, holding it down closest to the end of the paper, better cut I get. 3. 4. I'm flipping it so I can get that straight edge again. 5. I'm going to put this on here just to make sure it's the right size. And 6. By the way, it's just like when you're working with material. They're not always square. All right. So if you were able to get to Michael's and pick up, I think that not Michael's, Hobby Lobby, when they had the clearance, you might have been able to, and honestly, I bet they still have this stuff, because a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people were picking up this 12 by 24. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick little fold. I'm going to finish folding these, be right back. Okay, so I did a quick fold of all of these. I've got them all ready to go in the book. It actually is a pretty quick process. I will say, I think sometimes when we're doing process videos, they take longer than they normally would, if that makes sense. Now, when I put these in, I will tell you, I usually work from the back forward. I don't know why. I feel like I get a better fit with those. I'm going to use a little bit of this. I'll show you why in a minute. This is from the back of the tape, but you could use anything, I imagine. Wax paper thing. Okay, so get my glue out here. I'm going to glue this side and right down here. I'm going to glue this side just to be sure. I know that I'm double gluing here. You probably only need to put one section on. I am going to move this up into here, but I don't want to shove it. I forgot to do something. Oh, crumb. I just realized what I forgot to do. I'm just not going to do it on this one. Oops, yellow glue. Let me show you what I forgot to do. Again, every time you're in front of the camera, you can do this a million times, get in front of the camera, and you're going to forget a step. This is the step I forgot. I forgot to do this little thing. You just trim a little bit of it up. It helps the pages go on, and it keeps them from showing through on those corners. I was like, why does that look like that? Oh, oh yeah, that's why that looks like that. I'm just honestly balancing my scissors against the edge of the book and going up just a wee bit. Just doing a little miter, not miter, a little cornering. Oh, there we go. So this one's okay. This one's fine. And so with the other ones, I won't have that there. So by the way, the other reason I like to put a piece of paper on is because often, especially if I'm working with black papers, for some reason, my eyes don't work well with that. And so I always put a piece of this or wax paper, if I don't have this, underneath there so I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be able to see. I think as I get older, that's just kind of what happens. I just don't see as well as I used to. Let's try this again. So I'm going to, and I am going to make sure that I've got glue. Take on it. It's a very big piece. So when you're doing that full 12 inches, and that was too close to the edge, but that's why I have that there. Okay, so again, I like to slide it in, but I don't force it in because I don't want it to be all the way to okay, right there. There. And there. What I did was I was just making sure it was better aligned to the first one that went down. And let me go ahead and finish those. Okay, last one went in and it's flowing pretty well. So I am happy. It's so cute. I really want to do some school ones. I think that's something people might really like to have. So I just ordered, some more. I thought I had a whole thing of Echo Park school papers, but apparently I did not. Okay, so my next thing, so that I don't forget, because if I don't do this right now, I absolutely will forget. It's just my brain. It's just my brain. Let me grab, that's too thick. Let me grab my tape. There we go. So I'm going to grab a little bit of score tape here, or whichever one this is. I do use some different ones sometimes. And I'm going to make this, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to try to put it, I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I tried to put it right along with that line. It's why I use this table. I just love to be able to center things. So here's what I'm doing. I'm putting down my tape for my ribbon, because if I see it before I put my cover on, I'll put the ribbon on. If it's not there on both sides, I'll go hum-de-hum-de-hum and I'll forget all about it. Let me do this next one. So like I said, this kind of helps me. That'll be close. That's not bad. Okay, so what all this does, when I put it down now, I'm not actually going to work with it right now, but if I don't put it down now, then I will absolutely forget when it's time. And I'm going to do my covers. I do all that at the end, usually, for me. I just find that to be easier when I've done the rest of my pieces. So at the moment, I'm going to move this aside, because what I'll do is I'm going to put together, I'll show you in this one. This one is being very difficult. What in the world? Okay. Okay, so let me show you really quickly in here what I do. You can see that this is matted. So I have my printed paper and then I have my matte paper. And I usually go ahead and I will add the printed paper to the matte paper before I add it. And then I'll just add the whole thing to the book. And then I go back later and I do the decorations and the pretty part. So that's what I'm going to do next. Now, when I showed you guys this set that I'm using, which I do love, I didn't have enough paper. I think I'm going to bring in this set from Paper Studio. So I bought this probably a year ago or something, last time they had one of their big sell-offs of these papers. So let me pull out their paper. It's not quite as bright as some of these, but I think it works well with this. I think that one works well. So let me look at some of these other papers. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, sorry. So we've got this baby stroller paper. This is peachy. Maybe. So I had to move some things around, and let me pull this back a little bit, because what I found is this wonderful Echo Park paper that I have. It's just not going to be enough if I want to salvage, even if I don't salvage all of the cut aparts. It's not enough. It's not enough different designs for what's actually essentially 14 pages on the 14 pages here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you got the whole cover to do. So, not enough. This one essentially has 9. So, turn the fan on because it's getting warm in here. So I looked through my stash and I found this, which is fabulous. I didn't know I had it. Guys, I have so much paper. This getting through it and when those lovely ladies did the collab for their Paper Stash Smash, and I saw that and they said you can add, you can just hashtag us and we'll keep you up to date. And I thought that was just amazing for all of us, all the rest of us. And I am absolutely going through a lovely amount of stock. Anyway, let me show you what's in this one. I showed you what was in the other one. This is just beautiful paper. This one has, if you can see that, this is like sparkly. So each of these is 2 sheets. I love this one. The pink stripe. I think I might use this for a Christmas set. Okay, so we're getting into some really pretty ones that are so nice for a baby girl, because your baby at a year is, still a baby, but isn't that pretty? But it's not like the newborn stuff, which is really nice. So this, can you see the foil? Lovely. This is fantastic. And I don't have to worry about it because there's nothing on the other side. So you got Sweet Baby Girl, First Giggle. I absolutely am going to use some of these. I wasn't. Well, that's right. Okay. Yep, these will work. I had to think about it for a minute. So remember, I don't have little small pockets that I'm adding, but each section has pockets. Each section has a pocket, and some of these are going to be so adorable. First sippy cup, said mama, said dad, first tooth, cereal, fruit, veggies, adorable firsts. First word. I love these. I think these are great. Okay, and then you have these wonderful large cut-aparts for the first 12. And so this one also had, let me see if I can find that one. I don't know which one I'm going to use. So this one also has the 12 months. So you can do something like this. I mean, they both are set up to do this. Okay. So this one has these really pretty ones. I mean, Echo Park knows how to do it. But these are, I think these are lovely too. I don't know. And they're the same size. It looks like they're 3x4s. No. Yeah. No, 3 by, yeah. Yes, 3 by 4. I can do math. Okay, these are adorable. I really like that one. All right, so you get 2 of those. Love the gingham. Gingham is apparently very, very in at the moment. I think a gingham page would be gorgeous. This I will not use for this. I'll probably put this one into a junk journal because it's so big. I'll fold it down so that you could actually use it. But this is really cute. Oh my golly. Oh, look, and it's got foil. All right, the diaper pins. Very cute. This one's very springy. It's pretty. So you got your alphabet again. It's foiled. I like the little sleepy. These little cheeks are like, they're a little bit glittery. So this is cool too. I'm not going to use it with this one, but this is cool. The whole 5 generations. Okay, so you got this. Love this one. That's just, I love that. And again, you've got the foil effect. These are fantastic cut-aparts. Ah, so cute. So these, I had looked at another set I thought I was going to use, but when I really compared the colors, I didn't think that they matched enough. I didn't think that they were close enough. These, I think, really are perfectly close enough. Little triangles. It's cute. Oh, more foil. And some of these would be great with your spring papers. Oh, look at that baby girl. This is really cute. That's our little girl. All right. So you've got some polka dots and more cut-aparts. This has a lot of cut-aparts. This one has more foil, and I think that's the end of this one. So this one is by Recollections, but it's older. This one is clearly old. I don't see an age on it. And I'm not even sure I bought it at, oh no, I think I did. I think I bought this like on clearance a couple of years ago. So it does not have a date on there. But it is so gorgeous. And it was funny because when I was going through my stock, apparently this must have been a very good deal because I bought two. So I have a whole another pad. All right. Having said that, I don't know what's going to go on the front yet. I kind of need to figure that out. But I'm going to start looking at papers and deciding which papers are going to, I'm going to put in, and then I'll have to start looking at mats. I might, these are so cute. I might do either blush pink as a matte or maybe a white or off-white. I don't know. So I'm definitely going to use each one of these. No, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use that one. I think I'll use that one, but I am thinking we'll see what I can get out of it because I think I want to use that. If I do that, I don't think I'm going to have, well, I will if I go that way. Yeah, I should be okay. So I've got two things on there. I like this one. So right now I'm at 3 pages. I do like that. That's 4. Love that. So that's 5 pages. That one's the same. That one's the same. This has cut-aparts, so I'd rather salvage the cut-aparts. All right, so what I'm really getting here is 5 pages. I might use, I don't necessarily love a few of these. I don't know. I'll think about that one. But for the moment, let me see if I can find, so what I say, 5, which means I need to pull a lot out of the other one. Let me move these back together and put these out of the way for a minute. And then I think I might go ahead and try to use up those. And I do have these wonderful ones. I wonder if I should just use that Sweet Baby Girl instead of cutting it out of that one. That might be a better size. Or this baby sign. Like once I do the mattings, that would be cute. All right. So, liking that. All right, so I have 5 pages that I want to use. I need to decide on, let me turn this way. I think the bunnies to me are too Easter. And I actually really do want to use this on another one. I love this one. I think this one is fantastic. So that's going to be page 6. I like this one. So what I'll probably do is kind of mix and match between the busier paper and then something that's, less busy. I think we only have 1 sheet of that one. some of these are really quite busy. All right. So that's going to be 6. There's also quite a few cut aparts in here. So I'm wondering if I can use that, especially if I'm going to be using, oh yeah, I think I can do that through this. So that'll be 7. Love this one. 8. I don't know. Let me see what else I've got. Why did they do that to me? Did y'all see me jump? Did you feel the things move? Okay, I think this is adorable, so I think I'm going to use that for 8. Love this one. That'll be 9. More cut aparts. 10. Gracious. Yeah, I may end up. Trying to decide if that's a little bit too. Okay, let's see what we've got so far. I like this for the front, for maybe the very first pictures. So that would be 1. I'll do that one further in. I do set these together the way I like them. Let's see, that's 3, 4. All right, if I'm going to do that one, I'm going to use this on the front and the back, just as a simple when you open it up, I think. Because, look how cute that is. Sorry. It's got this one at the top, says Rockabye Baby Don't You Cry, We'll Go to Granny, Up the Hill by the Mill to See Little Lammy. Cute. Okay. So if I do front, inside cover, and then this is the first page. And then let's see, 4. That's cute. 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are fine across. I probably will use that. 9. That's just going to be 10. 11. That's 11. And then that'll be front and back. So if I'm using this one front and back, then I like that as 12. Yeah, that should be everything. Let's see. Let me look at it one more time. So this is 1 and 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay. I see what I need one more. So I need the one that's going to face this one. Okay, so that's that. I needed another sort of simple one. All right, so let me go back. See what simple one I can do. I guess the bunnies would be cute. Maybe this one. This one's really nice. So let's see if that was Oh yeah. Okay. So that's my paper process right now. I have so much of this left. And apparently I have more than that, so you'll see that again later. Okay, so now I need to decide, and I did not use this one, and I did not pick a front and back, but I will work that one out later. So for all of these, one moment please. Okay, that was just the dogs protecting me from the terrifying mailman, apparently. So, okay, now I need to decide what mat I want to use with this. I'm gonna need a lot of it, so I need to make sure that whatever I start with, I have enough. So I'm thinking something like this, but is that... Oh, I kind of like that. It's not white, it's pink, but it's a really light pink. All right, I like it. Have a decent amount of it. Okay. Let me move those out of the way for a minute, and I'm going to start by cutting my mats. I will need 14 of my mats. So they are going to be 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. I should be able to get 3 out of each page. I am just taking another quick look to see if I don't have any 12 by 12 in that color. Honestly, that's what I'm going through the most of right now, is just my my mats, my plain stock. I just ordered more. See if I do 4, 8, 12. Okay. Let me take one quick look to see, because if I had a if I have a 12 by 12, I'll end up having to use less of it, of course. All right, I'm just going to go with this one. This is one of my favorites. It's very heavy duty. I honestly don't know where I got it from, because I had a ton of it. I bought a ton of it wherever I bought it, and I've been using it for a while, and I'm down to not as much. So this is actually very heavy. I think this is at least 80 pounds. So let's go ahead and see. This needs to be 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. For precision, I'm going to use this guy. When I do eighths, this one just gives me, I think it gives me more precision. Now let me see, if I do 6, 9, I don't think I'm going to get as many. If I go across, I think I need to go 5 7/8. I'm going to try it that way. All right, 5 7/8. Okay. And then I'm going to do this one at 5 7/8. And I'll put those aside. So I'm going to go ahead just for a minute just to see what I'm going to get out of this. So now I'm going to go to 3 7/8. That's right. This is a very, I picked that pink last night. It's very hot pink. I am not going to get as much out of this as I thought I was going to. Because it's got to be that way. Of course I'm not. I'm thinking straight. So this one is the okay, 5 7/8. Okay. That's those first 3. So I'll get 3. Because I was wondering if I cut it this way, if I did the 5 7/8, and then that would be 3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, it would be my brain. It would be more across. Oh, there we go. So I think this is the right way to do it. Because if I go, I'm only going to get 2. Oh, I'll get the same. Let's see. Nope, I was right. So if I cut it this way, that was the 5 7/8. Now I need to do the 3. One. 2. So I'm only going to get 2. So I need to go back and do it the other way. Which was 5 7/8. And then do my 3s. Okay, now I have this lovely stack of 14 mats. I may use another mat like this on the front of this, but the dimensions for the front are going to be slightly different. The covers are slightly bigger, so I just have to do the math on those. Okay, so next I am going to go ahead and cut my papers. I'm going to stick with my big one only because paper is so big. All right, so this is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. So it really just depends on how I want to do it. This one doesn't matter, so I think that if I cut it like this, I'll have a bigger piece left. So I'm doing 3 1/4. And that is the orientation. Because it's directional, this is going to sit like that. That's the direction. So cutting it at 3 1/4 right now. Is that 3 1/4? I don't think I had it set at 3 1/4. I did not. Luckily, I didn't have it set too small. I just had it set a little bit big. All right, let me do a quick fix to this one. Just slightly too big. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our 3 1/4. There you go. And you can see how well it's just going to give me the slightest, littlest mat possible. Okay. And okay, so that nice little stack Now I need to switch it to 5 3/4. Yeah, right there. I hate it. Every once in a while I cut my paper wrong and I just, oh my golly, isn't that maddening? Especially when you don't have a lot of it. With this one I've got plenty, but I certainly have made that mistake before. It is not pleasant. Oh my gosh, guys, actually I'm going to make a cinch exactly with these papers because I'm cutting them all to the same size. How wonderful is that? I feel like, what is that in the A-Team? If you've ever seen that movie, I love it when a plan comes together. Let's see, with this one, I may actually cut it that way. Which side do I like the best? Okay, let me do it that way. Adorable. Now, this one, which is going to go on the front and the back, I'm going to cut this to 6 inches. That's right. Redo this one. So I want this one to be 4 by 6. Because the mat underneath it will be 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. So slightly bigger. That's what I mean. But I have a ton of this. I have come on. Let me line that up. There we go. And I needed 2 pieces, so I'm keeping both of those. All right, I'll get this out of the way for a minute. Now, if you recall, my whole premise of this is that I'm just keeping it very simple. I want the photos to take center stage. So that's my thought process. I'm going to put those aside for those front and back because I knew I was going to do it. I did not need 14 mats the same size. The front and back mats need to be a different size. I really did do it. I knew I was going to. Again, that's fine. I'll use these with these. Even though they're a bit slightly different, that's okay. I'm slowly building up a notebook that I'll just be able to go straight to, trimming and go. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside for a minute. I'll do those in a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting these together in the order that I want them to go into the notebook. This is why I do it. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This should be 12. That's the one I decided on, 12. So I am absolutely missing a piece right there. So I need to go back to my drawing board and get another piece. I wonder if I could do that and then that. I think I'm going to do that. I do generally hate breaking up my cut aparts. I think that one's cute, but I think I'm going to try to take it from this little piece here. Okay. So it is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And it's non-directional. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this little bottom section. I swear, it's just hilarious. Oh, I really cut into that, didn't I? I was so far off. Okay. So I want this piece to do it this way to be 3 3/4. But I don't want to go. Let's see where 3 3/4 gets me. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then I need 5 3/4. And I think I'm going to keep the sheep. There we go. So that one's going to go there. Okay, good deal. And then, let's put that aside with those. Okay, so I've got all of those in place. So cute. They're gonna need to be glued down. So the pink, I'm gonna need 2 more bats. So this one's going to be 6 1/8. 6 1/8 by 4 1/8. Yes. I am going to go ahead and do the 4 1/8. I'm just going to use this one. And then I'm going to do my other 4 1/8. And then 6 1/8. So that goes to 6, and I know the 1/8 is approximately right there. It's very short. So that should be about right. Oh, why is that so big? It's way too big. Because this is just 4 by 4. Okay. All right. Just when you thought it was safe. I'm way off on this one. I am a 1/4 inch off on this one. Crisis averted. So these needed to be the 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. This one did. Or was it this one? No, this needed to be 6 by 4, and this needed to be the other one. Straight 6 by 4, and then 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. So the front and backs. The front and backs. Okay. I am going to move this aside. Tie that one. And I am going to just start gluing. So I just want to make sure that I am getting this on here. this time I am not using, I'm so far off on these. Okay. Okay. I'm fine with this one. I don't know what. I'm wondering if that one is too long. That's what it is. This one of these is too, you know, I'll figure it out in a minute. This one's the right size. Oh, I forgot to go back and trim this one. So I'll just do a little trim from there, and I'll get it to where it needs to be. This has been really something. It's so funny. Again, I can do one of these in my sleep when the camera's not on. Turn the camera on, and it's just like, why is everything going wrong? It's a gremlin. Well, there you go. That one's right. There we go. Okay. One down now. I'm going to do these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished matting everything. I'm trying to make the video so they're not 2 hours. I don't know. You all tell me what your preference is. Do you like it when I stop, do some of the, you know, other work, and then come back to you when that part's done, or would you rather just be with me the whole time? You let me know. So now it's just as simple as putting it together. And it's funny because I think I tricked whatever's been causing my filming issues, the filming gremlins, because I stopped filming. And lo and behold, something else went wrong and there was nobody to see. I ran out of glue in my glue bottle. I had to go back through and add that in. Oh, this is so stinking cute, guys. I do like the simplicity. Now, I will tell you a couple of the different ones that I think I'm going to make in this style. Just this super simple style. I thought it would be fun to do a Christmas one. And that's one that people could, you know, maybe you want to do Christmas through the years. I actually think it would be really cool to have, you know, now that I'm the age that I am, I would love to do an album, and I might, where I get to see the progression of Christmases from when I was very young to, you know, when I was older and we were all moving out of the house and trying to decide what to do it this way. I might actually do that. I have some sort of vintagey paper that would look good with that because, you know, I grew up in the 70s. I didn't grow up in the 80s or 90s, so the more modern stuff may not look good. So, let me get this on here. I really like this. I should really do one of these for my kids. One for each. And finally, this cute little piece here. Now, I'm not going to be completely done. I'm going to show you guys, and then I feel like I didn't do any glue there at all. And then I'm going to come back and finish the front and back and pick the ribbon. I recently went to a place called the Scrap Factory? A place in Durham, North Carolina. Scrap Factory. And it's fantastic. And I could have bought, oh my goodness, $100 worth of That's not the way I want it. More than 100 pieces of the seam binding in every color under the sun. They had so much. Most of the seam binding was older, so I'll keep the packaging. So let me show you what the inside looks like right now. This is super cute. Ah. All right, and it is lovely and substantial feeling when you turn the pages. That's so cute. All right, so let me find my seam binding, and I may have a video out. I have to see whether I did the whether I have the beginnings of that video. I can't remember honestly because we were traveling back and forth that day. All right, I'll be back. Okay, this might be a little bit of a jump, but while we were apart, and for you all, because of the way I put the video together, it won't be at any time at all. I went ahead and figured out what I wanted to do on the front of the album, and I love this. This is actually one of the cut aparts from the Echo Park set. I'm super excited about that. So I cut out this mat, which matches on the inside. And then this is also an Echo Park from one of my other, I think it was from the farmhouse one that I just did recently, like last month, maybe the month before. But what do you think? So I am really liking that kind of combo. And then what I did was I kind of put it up here. And here, we'll come in closer. So when it's all together, it'll look like that. I have enough of this background paper. Bring it out again. So then for the spine and the back, I'm going to use this. Now this was from the front, and I had thought I would use this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to salvage that for a future project. We'll see. But I'm super excited because I think that this is working out really well. And I don't think I'll be triple matting because I don't think I have enough of that green. I have pieces of it. Oh, I actually do have another sheet. Well, I could. Maybe. Look at that. Yep. All right, so I will triple mount the other two. So that one needs to be put together, and then I can go ahead and work on the matting for the spine and for the back. But before I do anything else, I need to go get the ribbon. Guys, if that wasn't there reminding me, I would have gone straight to putting the other two on. Be right back. Oh. Okay, so I found my bag. This was all stuff I got at the scrap exchange, and I hadn't planned on, showing you guys what I got. But I found the punch. I was very excited about this because I really wanted one like that. That's a Martha Stewart snowflake punch for the border. Guys, this is full of seam binding. Jam-packed. And let me know if you would like to see all the seam binding that I got. I will happily... I'll leave it in here until I hear back from you guys. And then I'll show you what I got minus. I can't even, and that's not seam binding. I can't press it further than that. It's all in its original cards. Super exciting. And honestly, I could have bought 3 times that amount. That would have been a lot of money. Okay, so let me see which one I want to use on here. I'm going to put this one kind of there. And then, all right. I am going to zoom you guys. Oh, that's too far. Zoom you guys in so you can see. There's that one. There's this one. There's this one. I feel like those are too much. I think I'm going to go with this very pale pink I love that it's on the original. And this was originally 25 cents. So the place is called the Scrap Exchange, and you can find anything there. They have a huge section of paper products, scrapbooking, papers, and they have one section where you can go through the single sheets of scrapbooking papers and fill a bag. And it's like by weight instead of piece. It is amazing. It's a very cool place. So I'm very excited about this stuff. And I am keeping these. So as I take this off, and it just comes right off like that, because I'm going to use this in a future junk journal. So I'm putting that aside. Now, how much of this do I need? And I'm not going to worry if it gets crinkly, because most often we do crinkle this. Question is, how much do I need? Now these originally came as 3-foot sections. So I think it's 3 foot or 3 yards. Is it 3 feet or 3 yards? 3 yards. Okay, it's 3 yards. That's actually really good. So I think that's going to be a lot. But, you know, once it's on and good to go, let me get these scissors. I'll put that right back with all that seam. I'm so excited about that stuff. I have got to tell you. So excited. Now, a lot of the seam binding that I see other people have, look at that. It's very crinkled, clearly, purposely, and artistically so. So and I don't know what it would take to really, I'm going to use this one today on this one. What I might do is go ahead and take some of these off of their cards. I might just look up how you crinkle it. But I'm thinking if you take it off and you wash it, hand wash it, and then you kind of let it crinkle. I saw a tutorial somewhere. I want to say I saw I'm sure I did. Saw a tutorial somewhere. I cannot wait. I haven't ordered it yet, but I really want to order a new one of the flat, was it Dress My something. Bone filter. Okay. So this one goes here. So cute. So piece number 1, piece number 2. Go. And oh, that's pretty much across from each other. Okay. So far, so good. Now I am going to, and if I can make this a little bit wider so you can see the rest of it. I'm going to go ahead and attach these pieces one by one. This one is cool. I would not have been able to get, this had to be 6 1/8. And I even had a little bit left over. And the only reason I was able to get the right amount out of this paper was because I don't cut it down, so the hole was there, and I'm just going to end up, it's going to be covered anyway. So that little hole isn't going to make a bit of difference for this project. So that was exciting. All right. I do like this paper. Okay. Come on, glue, don't fail me now. There we go. The glue is something. It does last a long time. I mean, I had filled it up, and I've been making quite a bit lately. And my glue has been doing a great job for me. Being there for me, I guess you could say. Now, I did cut this, yeah, so that there was more pink on this one. This one's more almost a 1/4 inch. Let me see, I can put it up here and see. Yeah, this one's a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, a little bit less than, so certainly not, maybe it's more of an 1/8 instead of a 1/16. Because I wanted to show that off a little bit more. So the top, and now I know why my inside needed to be smaller than I thought it was supposed to be. When I did the top, I realized I have to take into account that the inside one, I can't go all the way to the edge. But with the outside one, I need to go all the way to the edge. Does that make sense? Okay, that should be right about, oh yes. So what I mean is like this edge on the inside, because I've got the fold going on. Okay, look at this one. So on the inside, you've got to account for that. So you have to center based on that. And this one's going to go just like that. I love it. I love it. I kind of thinking, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do to even add it, make this a little bit more jazzy. What are those called? What are the paint that does like a little, like it does like a drop of paint. It's nice and shiny. Can't think of the name. Something a bowls. So that might work. That might be cute to do like a drop of paint inside some of the flowers to give it some additional dimension. My glue does not want to come out. Okay. All right, I think you can see that. I'm taking it to the edge of my table so I can put this flat without damaging the rest of it. There we go. I have to say, I absolutely love it. Love. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm admiring my work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my spine and my back. And once it is all done, I will come back and show you the finished project and product. And again, please tell me, these videos, especially when I'm doing something like this, can be a little on the long side. You know, this one would be maybe going on 2.5 hours. And I'm happy to hang out with you guys for the entire process. But I just really want to know if you want me to do the whole process so that you're with me through the whole thing. That is fantastic. If you're like, no, it's okay if you come back to us after you do certain pieces, that's good too. It's all cool. Y'all let me know. All right, I'll be back when it's all done. I am back and I'm done. I'm really excited. Okay. I have to say, I love this one. I think it just came out so cute. So the spine, let me pull it back just a little bit so you can see, get a better view of this. So we have the front. It really is just the simple cut apart. And then I did the double matting. So cute. And then with the spine, I kind of carried out the matting a little bit more, showing a little bit more of that really pretty green, which matches that one. And then the back is really just super simple. I really want to get the a sticker. Carolina Crafts, Carolina with Carolina Crafts has one that she puts on the back of all. I don't think it's a sticker. I think she actually prints it of hers, and it's wonderful. So, saying it's handmade. Want to look inside? Let me show you what's inside, and then I'll show you the last bit that I made. I decided not to add anything else to this. I said I wanted to make it simple, and so I think the paper on this one absolutely speaks for itself. So this is just a place for someone to add their baby pictures. And then I just really tickled at how well it came out. And certainly maybe a family picture on the front and back. That would be really cute. So the newborn picture here, but maybe a picture of, mom and dad and baby at the hospital or... Okay, so for every month, I made one of these journaling cards. And they will go right in here. So there's for one, and then two. That one's a little bit bigger than that one. And these are actually quite thick. I'm trying to get in this pocket. So we have 3 and 4. I thought about making them smaller, but I just left them the size of the actual journaling card. And if someone didn't want to see them sticking up, these will fit. You can easily tuck them straight in like that, and then they just kind of hide in there. And then 6. This is so cute. And 7. The little bird to stick up. And 8. And again, those are different sizes, but really easy to... I was going to put ribbon on these, like a tag. I was going to go ahead and hole punch put ribbon, but I think that some people would prefer having them tucked inside for their journaling. So to show it off, I'll leave it out because I think that they're adorable. But there's definitely, a choice that someone could make. And then 11, and then this one is 1 year. It goes so fast, doesn't it? So then you have a lot coming out of here now. Now you could do, I might, right now I'm not going to, but maybe a tiny decorative piece on the top of each of these since they're being seen from the other side. That would be something, but it's pretty thick as it is. Once you add photos to this and maybe journaling or an extra photo on here, then you definitely are going to be very full. So let me do a quick retie. So again, I'm gonna, these are gonna be so cool. My whole thought with these is that it's kind of either a year in or something through the ages, maybe every Christmas or your school years. But honestly, it's just a simple photo album. You can do anything with it. But I think that I still think it's valid. I think anyone on your Christmas list, too far, would love to have their own little album to fill, their own little homemade album to fill. And I think that this would be a great thing to start now. I'm going to make some of them for my kids, so who are, 3 of them are completely grown up, and one's on the way. So, on the way to being grown up, not on the way. No. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. I'd love to hear your comments or questions or anything. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.